think. So here we go. Very simple question. Hey Mark, what would you consider, or what is the trippiest thing or weird or crazy thing that you discovered about reality, the universe, consciousness, yourself, etc.? That's a very deep question, and yeah, this is a great question here. All right, so the thing that I discovered about reality, or everything in our life, is that everything always works out for you, according by you. So it takes me to a deeper thing. What I discovered is that we aren't totally in control. Now, don't. This gets into the realm of people thinking, I don't have free will. What's going on here? No, this has nothing to do with that. What it's saying is that we're being driven by our controlled, or we are this higher level of awareness that can see, can hear beyond what we can hear, can see beyond what we can see physically, but the best way I put it to you, but have the ability to get information to you in the 3D so that you can experience what you want. In other words, it will always work out in your favor if you allow it. That's the thing I learned about this stuff, man. Is if you try to control it or push it, you're going to create resistance. Here's something you got to understand. Like, if you have, like, let's say you have a desire, you have these feelings, or these dreams, right, in your mind, and you're kind of trying to figure out, like, man, how am I going to be able to accomplish all the things I want to accomplish? Then that's going to take you out of that connection. That connection is known as your authentic or higher self. So that's the thing I learned about this. If you just allow things to flow, it will always work out in your favor. That now takes me to the next thing. I then soon realized that, okay, the majority of uneasiness, mental and emotional struggle, it's all tied to our intellect mind, our ego mind. And when I discovered that, that's when I said, okay, I have to just let things unfold and let them play out. And you know how you let things play out? You got to always see a picture of positive outcomes. You got to always be positive. You got to always be optimistic. And the big thing I learned, because when you do that, the world opens up for you. So you just got to learn to let go and let it flow. That's the biggest thing. It's in other words, like, your future self already planned your success. You just don't know about it. When I talk about you, I'm talking about your ego. But inside of your heart, inside of your desires, already planned. So the big secret I learned is I got to get out of my own way. And once you get out of your own way, that's when the path and the signs and the opportunities come to you. That's the biggest thing. The trick is now getting out of your own way, man. How do you get out of your own way? Well, to get out of your own way, there's things you got to understand. Is that your regular mind can't give you the whole big picture. So you have to understand and come to the realization that, man, I can't see everything. I can't hear everything. I can't imagine everything because I'm limited. But the higher consciousness part of you can. So if you realize that, that's going to pave the way to open you up to get what I call the downloads, information that's going to come into you. That's one of the trippiest things I realize about this stuff. If I just let it go and let it flow, it usually works out by getting out of my own way, by not trying to figure out how, when, or just watching from behind the scenes. That's a trippy thing. The next thing I realized about this stuff is that like, you can only, the best way I can put this. Here's the next thing that's really, there exist infinite and multiple realities, but they can only be accessed if my mind and my body is in the present moment. That's the next thing I realize about this stuff. I can't get what I want, and I'm not going to be where I want to be if I'm constantly thinking about the future, worrying about the past, regretting the past, and being anxious about tomorrow. That's what I realize when I do that, I am out of alignment with all creation. I'm out of alignment with the future self, with all the possibilities. And it's really simple because, in quantum theory and quantum physics, uh, quantum mechanics shows us that every single thing that has ever happened, will happen, is happening right now in this moment. There's infinite realities, infinite experiences, and they only can happen in this moment. And then when I grasped that, right? Let me tell you how I grasped that. It was one day I was just chilling, all right, and my mind was racing, and I just pinched myself like this, just pinched it, and then I was instantly in the moment. And then epiphany came to me, and epiphany came to me says, "Hey man, did you just realize that the past and the future, they don't exist. They only exist in your head. All existence is happening now. What you can physically experience, what your senses can tell you, and you can feel in this moment, that's the beginning of the manifestation." And that was an epiphany moment for me. And I was like, damn, the more time I spend in my head, the less time I'm be able to get where I want to go. Because my head is just a projection of it. So what I started to do now, I said, all right, so what if I just spend more time in my head in the moment? Like, stop thinking about tomorrow or next year. Just focus on what it can happen now. Then what I did, I started to shrink my days. I actually started to shrink my days, right? Into hours and hours. So I never look for the whole day or tomorrow anymore. It's just like this moment to moment to moment. And I gradually got used to that, and that was very effective. That was a very, I don't know if you want to call it a trippy thing, but that's the only way you're going to get where you want to go, is to understand that all there ever is now. You've never experienced anything in the future, and you have never experienced anything in the past, because everything you've ever experienced, it is in the moment of now. Even if you go back to that, you say, well, I remember I did that, but when you were doing it, you did it in this moment. That's what in other words, your brain only knows right now, people. That was the most trippiest thing. And that one I had to get used to, because your mind gets kind of attached to the time thing in the mind, right? And that's an ego thing. So that alone right there was very profound, because now I know I got all these different realities that I can tap into. And I can tap into these realities by how I feel, what I focus on, blah blah blah. Okay? That was the trippiest thing. There's another thing. The third trippiest crazy thing I realized is that, man, we kind of live like a hologram. Our lives are analogous to a hologram. And because I realized that, because I was like, if the particles in quantum theory, quantum physics, right? Everything is made from these little particles, or energy, right? But here's the crazy thing about these particles, people. The particles that make the reality up, that make the trees, the cars, you and I, that make everything you see that look real to you, those ingredients, they're not even real. You could pass your hands through, they're transparent. They're like this energy thing. So I was like, what the hell? How can I be real if the ingredients that make me aren't real? And then I got another epiphany. And the epiphany I got was, oh, it's a hologram. I'm projecting somewhere else like a hologram. And I took out a card, my credit card, looked at the back. These cards, you could turn it over, you see the hologram. I was like, oh snap, it's a hologram. What a hologram? Hologram is like a flat surface like this, and then the light is projected and it looks like 3D. I'm like, man, space-time is actually like a flat two-dimensional surface, and we're being projected as a hologram from somewhere else as 3D people. That was the big wake-up call right there. I was like, so if all this stuff is like a hologram and it's transparent, that means nothing is fixed. I can like change up stuff if I want to. And that led me to another epiphany. So within the hologram, there are dimensions of the hologram. So they're like higher dimensions. They're like a 4-dimension, 5-dimension. I was like, oh man. And then here's the crazy part I realized. So if there are other dimensions, that means there got to be other intelligence, other beings, other me versions in higher dimensions. And this is where you get your spirit guides. This is where you get your higher self. See that? This is where you get what you call your angels. All in these higher dimensions that they can interact in the 3D and they look like they're gods or they're superpowers or whatever you want to call it. Because they're seeing things from a higher plane of existence. And those are the trippiest and craziest things I ever discovered, and that changed my life profoundly. See that? And you can do that. Once you realize that stuff, it opens up a whole new world for you, because now you can change your life by design instead of by default. When you when your life is by default, it means you're running on the BS that you've been programmed. When you change your life by design, it means you're like consciously or deliberately creating it. You're making your own movie, so to speak. Right. The past future doesn't exist. The lottery thing was another epiphany I realized about the lottery. In quantum physics now, I also realized that uh, if there are infinite versions, there's infinite wins of the lottery. And it's not, people think it's a fixed thing. It's not a fixed thing, because you can create it, you can manifest, you can bring it in. First of all, guys, there's nothing fixed in the universe. When I mean fixed, um, there aren't this thing outside of you controlling it. You can always turn things into your favor, because you can go into different realities and pick. And that's the thing about the lottery too, is that you can always jump into a reality where you're a winner, where the numbers pick you. You don't pick the numbers. They come in for you as a quick pick, or you can get a dream and you win the numbers, because you're always jumping into these infinite realities. hmm Do you think ETs are us on a different dimension that are able to quantum jump? In quantum physics says that that's possible. There's no rule or law in quantum physics that that can't happen. There could be, but what I personally believe about the ETs are that they're already here. They're in the ocean, and you have other ones that are interdimensional. So they're not coming from space. They're coming from a dimension. It's like in quantum theory, in a holographic principle, it's like this. It's like uh, they can project themselves. When we see them, we don't. That's why we see these things look weird to us. Like, I don't know if you see the UFO thing, and they talk about, oh, the guy sees the pilot sees the ET, and it's in a cube, in a sphere, and a bubble around it. Well, that is actually a higher dimension projected in a 3D. So when something's in a higher dimension, it would look like a cube to us, tesseract. You're just seeing part of it. So you're seeing just a little part of it. That's why it looks weird to you. That's why it looks like a cube in a square, because it's projected. Okay, it's like your shadow, right? If you walk around in your shadow, you can see your shadow on the floor. But let's say it is a 2D world. Your shadow can project on a 2D place, so you can jump into that world. So yeah, there's different dimensions that happen. Um, we don't know, half the stuff they taught you is backwards. Yeah, the universe led me. This is a what's this? Olivia Clark says the universe led me to your page when I started my lottery journey, and your videos always come up. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, the lottery journey thing was, I think the lottery for me, like winning the lottery and all that stuff, I think that was just a part of the plan that was made for me to come here. So that was just something to come in to help you guys, because I didn't plan on just being this person that talks lottery and win the lottery. I really want to just talk more about the consciousness, the higher stuff, the mind, the subconscious. But the lottery was just a part of it. So I won and I kept winning. And I was like, yo, this thing is working for me. Maybe it worked for somebody else. And it started working for you guys. And I started to show stuff. So that was just something to just show. I guess, I think, I don't know, maybe the universe higher self using that to show me that, hey, guys, anything is possible in the big picture. But yeah, the lottery, anyone can win the lottery. You can manifest the lottery if you want. There's just certain steps and principles you have to do that. You just got to get your mind acclimated to the vibration. You got to get into that universe or multiverse where it happens, and then you got to be patient, and you got to let go, and you got to repeat the process, and it will manifest. It will come. It will come into your life. And always, everything goes back to the trippiest thing I learned about this stuff, and I'll say it again. The most trippiest thing I learned about all of this stuff is that this is like a holographic game reality, that there's always transparent and things are constantly moving. Therefore, you can shift into realities where you win, realities where you don't win. You can shift into realities where you use luck, where you may get it. You can shift into a reality where you actually deliberately create it. So that's the difference when you're going to manifest anything. Do you want to fall into probability or luck, or you want to be the deliberate creator? And that again, see, look, everything just going back to quantum mechanics. Again, that's called a superposition state. In a superposition state, there are all these realities of luck, probability, chance, and then there's a state of actuality where it's physically perceived happening. You can fall into all those realms based on your belief. If you believe it's a game of luck or chance, that's the reality you will always be in. If you believe you can deliberately create it and it's meant for you and it will happen, that's the reality you will create, people. That's the thing that people don't get. A lot of people don't understand that because they're so bind and they're so conditioned by their minds that they don't see the bigger picture. And you can't blame a lot of people because the way we've been schooled and programmed, there's nothing else. If put it like this to you, if it's in front of you and your mind isn't programmed to see it, you will never see it. Repeat that again. If it's right in front of your face, you will never see it because your mind it wasn't programmed to see it. So, and if you want to change that, it's called your beliefs. You change your beliefs. When you change your beliefs, you change the program. When you change the program, you open up new levels of reality. It's like a game. You unlock a new level of the game. Who's this here? Someone, Marco says, okay, perfect example. Someone says, what if I believe that money is getting into my bank account? Then one day money will get into your bank account. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work what you're just saying. I believe money is getting into my bank account. You have to repeatedly build that belief, expect it, and see it and expect it to happen. And then it will come into your bank account. Because again, let's go back to quantum mechanics. Your reality can only be a reflection. Listen to this, people. Write this down. My reality, my experiences can only be a reflection of what I believe, what I expect, what I feel about my worth and the world. Point blank. In layman's terms, you will only ever get what you expect and what you believe and what you talk about. That's it. No matter what happens. So if you're smart, like this person says, if you start believe that money's going to be in your bank account, if you believe that you're going to be successful, if you believe that you are successful, if you believe that things are working in your favor, if you believe, and let me give you the biggest mantra that you can say to fix everything. Just say this. Just say, I live in a friendly universe that's designed to serve me. You can say this powerful one. Why do I live in a friendly universe that's designed to serve me? You're going to bring everything now into your reality. You'll get more money, you'll get more health, you'll get more relationship, you'll manifest everything. Because now you have told the program that this world I'm living in is always going to work out in my favor. That's the smart people. Okay? Majority of people, they think this way. They think they live in a universe that's unfriendly. They think they live in a universe that's by chance or fate. They think they live in a universe that they don't control and things happen to them, things don't happen for them. 90% of people live that way. You, my friends, however, do not live that way because now you're learning these teachings and how the universe works. If you just say every day your mantra, your one go-to mantra, every morning when you get up, why do I live in a friendly universe that's designed to serve me? Your life will totally take a change because now you'll look around and people will start to treat you nicer. You'll get raises at your job. You'll feel more happier because again, I go back to the foundation of quantum mechanics and I go back to the foundation of consciousness and your mind. It says that whatever I believe, whatever I think and I feel has to be transparent as a physical reality. My thoughts, my beliefs must be congruent with my physical experiences. No one can change that. That is just how it works. Sorry. Yes, and the big one The big one, user 37000 says, why do I consistently have more than enough money to live the life I desire? That's the goal one right there. Bam! Oh, I'll give you one more. Questions, the most trippiest thing I realized too. Questions are your answers. When you give a question out loud, your subconscious answers it at physical experiences. I stopped using I am affirmations and this. I started going to questions. Like, why am I so successful? Why are things working in my favor? Da 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 da. Why am I the best at what I do? And those took me to the whole next level. I got faster results, quicker experiences, everything showed up. Because I realized my questions are my answers. And all things come through the unconscious mind. There is nothing in the world that is set in stone. Right now, your life could change in an instant. Because everything is constantly changing. Your ego gives you the illusion that you are stuck in a physical world, that you have to figure it out, that there's no way out, that it ain't gonna happen for you. But it's all about you. And of course, yes, Ruthie Ann says, yes, gratitude is a key part in that stuff. When I'm saying all this stuff, you have to be grateful as well. You gotta thank the universe. You gotta say thank. You gotta feel good, and that's part of gratitude. Gratitude is just expecting, like, okay, great things is happening to me, and you don't with gratitude you don't have to get up every day and say like, oh, I'm thankful. You can just say it silently. You can feel it. You can just appreciate it because it's the feeling, the vibration that talks out more. So people can talk every day and say, I'm grateful for this, but they're not authentic about it. I'm so happy today. But you see, you're just saying the words. Words without the feelings or the authenticity to it is going to be dud. It's not going to work for you. You got to be authentic in your declarations out to the world. Oops. Or out to the universe. That was the universe agreeing with me right there. Whoa, what happened here? Okay, I didn't think I did something good. I got the screen bigger. Why did I do that? Ooh, see that? I gotta figure this out next time I do a video now. Look at that. The universe has showed me something new. When I do these videos, I was always far away, but now I'm closer, and you guys can hear me more. What did I do? This is cool. Oh, wow, look at that. I just unlocked something in this TikTok thing here. Oh, there it is. See that? All I gotta do is go like this. Ooh. Now... and the comments get bigger. Yes. Well, the comments don't get bigger, but... oh, yeah, they do kind of get big. Zoom in. See that? Now I know that. Before I thought this was stuck. See how the universe worked? It made me drop the phone. I picked the phone up. It zoomed. Man, look at this. I've been doing this for like a year, and I just discovered this. Oh. Now you guys can see me better and hear me better. Okay, let me get the perfect zoom right here. How's that? Better? Get a better zoom. Hold on. Whoa. Oh, this is cool. I think this is perfect angle right here. How do you zoom, right? You just put your hands on the screen, pull it in, and open it up. The zoom. Perfect. Maybe a little boom. How about that? Yeah, more than a year. I didn't know that. I just kept doing these videos just with the angle they're giving me, but I think this is good right here. 2-finger pinch, right? See how the universe works? This phone didn't flip like that. See, that's what I'm showing you. All things always work out in your favor, man. I was getting a lot of comments saying, hey, Mark, man, can you zoom in? Or why is it so far away? Now, bam. Is it a new feature? I don't know. You tell me, guys. You go live. I don't know, but it's cool, though. So now when I do this again, I'll just go to the perfect pinch to go live. Figured it out by accident. Aha! It's not new. There's no accident in the universe. Everything is a deliberate setup for you. So guys, so those are things I learned, and now I pass them on to you, and then you can start doing them in your life, and then you will see the results. So I'll catch you next time, and keep those questions coming. For the record, you could get those questions there. You can find me on Instagram, on YouTube, on a TikTok, Facebook. This is where I'll get all these questions from. Email, my website. So I have a ton of them, and I'm getting to them while I can. All right. One more. What do you think about the aliens they are reporting on? And why? Someone asked me this one too. So why are aliens only appearing in the USA? That's a great question. So let me answer this question. The aliens are these beings. The reason why they're in the USA is because the USA has more nuclear warheads, and they have the capability of destroying the planet. So they're more focused on the USA because of that, because they don't want to blow up the planet. So that's why they're more in the USA. And plus, the USA has more of the technical military advancement. So the aliens are going to the leaders. That's why they're here. But it's because of the warheads, though. The U.S. and Russia has more warheads, but the U.S. has more. And the next thing about these beings are, if they wanted to do away with us, they would have done away with us a long time ago, because they're about 10,000, or no, they're about 100,000 years advanced than we are. They use consciousness to talk and communicate. Uh, Someone will say it's fake. Well, it's not fake, because in quantum mechanics and quantum theory, it shows us that there exist dimensions, and there exist other beings, and just the laws of mathematics of the universe is impossible. But these beings, they exist in the ocean. They were here before you and I, and they have some involvement in your genetics and DNA. This is what you're seeing right now happening. And I'll give you the analogy to this. And people always ask me, they say, man, well, Mark, if these beings are real, man, why did they show up at my house or the White House? And so I put it to you as a more sentient being. So let me ask you something about yourself. When you walk outside and you look at the ants, do you go down to the ants and introduce yourself? You don't care about the ants. You do your thing. So to us, these beings are like, we're like the ants to them. So they're just going to do their thing. And if we see them, and they don't. That's why they're not going to show up at Washington, D.C. That's not going to show up in your house, because we are nothing to them. So we, just like you walk over the ants and stuff, you don't go down to the ants and say, show me your leader, or hey, I like that mound. You're too advanced. Now, what you could do, you could study the ants because you're curious. Maybe that's what they're doing to us, like how we study animals, because we're curious. Someone asked me too, so why, Mark, why did they leave ships? How did they crash? Aren't they intelligent? Well, look, you could be the most advanced being. You're still going to crash because technology is not perfect. So the next thing is, why do they leave ships? Why do they do this stuff to the... Because think about this. This is my opinion on it. They leave the ships because I believe that they had a genetic makeup for us. So they leave the ship to see if we can reverse engineer it to see how far we've come. That's why they leave their ship. They say, all right, let me test it out. Let me see how if these human beings can how far they got with their technology. I'm going to leave my ship here and see if they can reverse it. And by the way, we can't do it. They're 100,000 years ahead of us. So it's like us leaving a bike in the jungle for the apes and for them to figure it out. That's my opinion on that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but it's all good. You're in the age of Aquarius. And I'll see you guys next time.